Now let's bring in our panel. Behnam Taleblu, Senior Director of Iran Program for the Foundation for Defense of Democracy, joining us today. And Rick Santorum, former Senator of Pennsylvania for 12 years, a senior advisor at the Convention of States and a senior political analyst. Let's start with the breaking news in Iran. There's some big headlines coming out from President Trump today. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Ukraine had received specific requests from the U.S. in help dealing with drones in the Middle East. President Trump, Senator Santorum, I'll start with you, says, certainly, I'll take assistance from any country. President Trump also saying that the U.S. will have a role in choosing the next leader of Iran. Some major headlines there today. As this parallels what the House is doing to try and hamper his efforts, it seems like he is laser focused now on the succession and also who may be there to help aid in that. Where do you see the most success coming in from the White House?
Well, first, I don't think the president needs to get ahead of himself in choosing a leader yet. We're a long way from there to have success in Iran. We've made incredible progress. The president and his team and the military deserve tremendous credit for what they've been able to accomplish to date. He is, the fact that you look at Ukraine, you mentioned Zelensky. There were so many lessons learned from the drone war that's gone on in Ukraine that have been applied here in this conflict. So, while people criticize Ukraine and, how much we've been involved there have been tremendous advances in our tactics and our methodology of fighting war as a result of the experience that have not cost an American one life in Ukraine. So, and it's saving lives here in the Middle East. So the fact that Ukraine is offering to help just proves the fact more that these folks have the kind of experience in modern warfare that's ever evolving that is a huge benefit to us in this conflict.
All right. And, to your point, Senator Santorum, Trump said very early in the process of picking a new leader, and perhaps that's because we still don't know how successful the Kurds will be. Behnam, today, President Trump is on the record saying he backs them. This story's been percolating for a few days. It looks like they're getting maybe some help, some weapons, potentially aided from the CIA. President Trump said today, I think it's wonderful that they want to do that when it means launching an Iran offensive. Tell us how much this disrupts some of those who are still alive, the mullahs, who also are looking at the son of Khamenei, Mushtaba, as their leader. Trump says that would not be something that they will ever accept.
Well, it depends a great deal, Bianca, and great to be with you and the former senator. It depends a great deal on what the U.S. goal here is. There's no doubt America can have and is indeed having many military wins against the Islamic Republic. The question is, how does one turn a military win against a political win? And here, despite the great track record of the Kurds in Iraq and Syria pushing back against armed terrorists like ISIS, for example, Iran is a fundamentally different beast. And I'm saying that because if the president is looking for a local solution, he should look no further than the masses of protesting Iranians who actually love him right now. And I think stoking ethno-sectarian tensions and starting an insurgency is not going to help the president with his base or be able to point to a lasting political success that he could graft onto his military success. Nonetheless, this seems to be, based on conflicting reports, an option that America is entertaining for the moment. Perhaps the logic is that they think they would be able to pin down or tie down the IRGC somewhere. But those are fundamentally very different forces that would be doing protester repression in Tehran versus going against insurgents in Western Iran. So I would caution the president that, this might be counterproductive, particularly given how popular the president is on the Iranian street right now. And in fact, support for the bombing, as some analysts have been joking, in Iran is more popular in Iran than among Americans. And I would say this could risk losing that.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not popular with the Democrats. Senator Santorum failed 47 to 53 in the Senate yesterday. The war powers trying to curb it. Fetterman, though, was breaking with the party. We expected that. And, the Wall Street Journal today, the editorial board has put out an article saying rarely have so many pessimists in Washington seemed so eager to predict American defeat. But you have folks like AOC and others, Hakeem Jeffries, also very upset that they're coming out saying there's no strategy. Is this helpful as the House votes today and the political theater that Americans are looking at with this when, to Behnam's point, the people in Iran are really, really happier than people in America who live a free life?
Yeah, Donald Trump could cure cancer tomorrow, and the Democrats would complain that that it would put people out of work in healthcare. I mean, it's just there's nothing the president can do that is going to get anything but criticism from the Democrats, and the shrillness of it and the immediacy of it. I mean, the first few days, oh, it's a failure. Oh, this is terrible. I mean, the bottom line is that Iran, it was one of the great threats to the United States and has been since 1979. They've killed more Americans in wars over the last 40 years than any other country in the world. And he says that, a crazy country can't get nuclear weapons. They're a crazy country because they're a theocracy that believes bringing about the end of times, bringing about an Armageddon, a nuclear holocaust, will lead them to their final glory and victory over of Islam over the rest of the world. This is not just a bunch of crazy people. These are people who are convicted with their theology, and their theology demands them to actually conquer the world and to bring about a nuclear holocaust. Yeah. So this is real, and the sad thing is a lot of the people who are saying, oh, this is a terrible thing, know this, and yet and know the danger that Iran poses and has posed for the past 40 years, and still persist in
but politically
playing
they won't go there.
Tragic. Yeah, it's tragic.
They won't go there politically. Behnam, final thoughts on how long you think this is going to go on for. You've seen, Hezbollah, even some leaders are being arrested in Lebanon. U.S. military says we're going to have complete dominance over the skies, days, if not a week. President Trump has said this would be about maybe a 4-week mission. With your perspective and expertise, how long do you think it is until Iran has to potentially say, we have no more launchers, this is it, game over?
Well, certainly if the mission is defined as narrowly as going after the launches or the bases or storage facilities that house them, that could probably be accomplished within 4 weeks, if not 6 weeks, depending on the rate of fire and the dispersal of these systems. But make no mistake, I think the president deserves a political win here. He was willing to take a shot when no one else was. My fear is here that if we leave a national security rump state that's run by, again, those same hardline theocrats or the next generation of them, as the senator was just alluding to, we won't be able to turn that military win into a political win. So I think now is the time to socialize with the American population the transformation of this campaign into something lower and slower. There may not be a need for B-2s to help topple the government, but potentially drones to help, protesting Iranian populations.
All right, a bit of cautious optimism as we proceed into the next few days and weeks there. And interesting messaging. We'll see where the White House goes with it. Senator Rick Santorum, Behnam, Taleblu, appreciate your perspective.
Thank you.